My name's Peter Hall, fruit and hop grower here in Marden. You're watching probably one of the 2 days we're picking our organic hop crop. We've been growing organic hops now since 1989. Prior to that, the family's been growing conventional hops for over 100 years here. The organic hop crop is picked and pressed up here on the farm and is then sold to the Witchwood Brewery over in Oxfordshire, where they make it into their own organic beer, Circle Master, and they also brew all the Dutchy original ales under licence there. This year looks as if it's actually going to be a remarkably fine crop, despite enormous potential disease pressures. All the hops in the hedge have got terrible downy mildew, but fortunately Trevor, our main man, has managed to keep all the disease out of the hops by putting a little spray on here and there at the right moment.
The tractor's driven into the far end of the picking shed. Chains are then hooked onto the bar at the back of the draw sheet in the bottom of the trailer. The tractor draws forward and the hops are laid on the ground gently. You then have a team of hookers on who sort out, pick the top bine off the lump, pass it over to another one of the team who will then twist the bine onto the hook, ensuring that the long end of the bine is over the top, so the weight of the bine holds the bine onto the hook. The machine works far better if you get a nice even flow. Sometimes they miss hooks, but if you've got a bine on every hook, the machine works far better. As they're pulled up into the air, the bines untwist themselves, separate themselves, and they're then lowered into the main rotor banks, where rotating drums with sprung wire fingers on them pick off hops, laterals, leaves, and they drop onto a slow moving belt underneath. It is amazing that the fingers that are sprung steel can flick the hops off so effectively without smashing them to pieces. The speed of the rotor banks is very important to ensure the hops are just flicked off and not smashed up or carried. Once the bines have been through the rotor banks, they pass by a saw which cuts them off from the hooks, and they're dropped down into a chopper. This is a very heavy knife driven by a flywheel which will chop the bines into pieces about 1 inch long, and they're then blown out onto a waste bine lump at the back of the building. Hops, laterals and leaves are carried out of the area under the rotor banks onto a roller bed, where the hops and the leaves fall through the rollers onto a belt underneath, and the bine goes through the lateral picker.